Hi everyone, I hope you all are well. I'm sorry I've been a little bit MIA the past 4 weeks especially. Today I wanted to share my story with you and kind of give you a little bit of insight into starting this blog and kind of what I've been going through over the past, it's October, so 10 months. I know I shared in a post probably in May, I want to say, or maybe June, about my anxiety and depression, and I just wanted to expand on that a little bit in a video and kind of give you some more nitty-gritty details, and I hope minister to anybody out there experiencing the same thing that I have and still am going through. Mine started back in January of this year. It was kind of very sudden, and I just started to experience horrible anxiety, and I didn't really know how to handle it. It was very confusing to me. I didn't know what spurred it on and what was going on, and I was able to, I was in the dark. I didn't want to share with anyone, and I was actually on a trip when it started. I didn't want to share with anyone because I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to verbalize what I'm feeling. And I'm really grateful that I eventually ended up bringing it to the light because I can tell you one thing: when it's in the dark, you're not going to be able to overcome it alone. You won't. It has to be brought to the light. And I'm really grateful that I did. It didn't make it go away. Obviously, it's October and it's not gone, but it really helps you feel like you're not alone and in a dark, corner by yourself trying to fight it off. So January was a pretty rough month. I was kind of figuring out how to handle all this and what to do and how to fight it, and then February was pretty. I was doing better. Some days are really good, and then some days are really bad, and then you have kind of, areas where you're not good, and then areas where you're really good, and I was kind of trying to figure out where it all started, and I think I shared with you all that my family moved to Texas after I graduated high school, and I know that the transition here and transition to college is very hard. It's very hard to, make new friends where you are, not be in the home that you've been. I lived in Maryland for 15 years, and I absolutely love it here in Texas, but still transitioning here and being in a whole new place is very hard, and I will admit that I am not a fan of change. Change is good for me, and it grows me, and it strengthens me, but I am not a fan of change. So my first semester at Commerce, fast forwarding or rewinding a little bit, I was at A&M Commerce. I had applied to A&M my senior year. It was the only school I applied to. I really wanted to come here, and I didn't get in right away. And that was a really huge heartbreaker for me. I was offered a program where I could go to one of the A&M institution schools, and they would, if I maintained a 3.0 and completed 24 credit hours, I could transfer in, and I was guaranteed admission my sophomore year. So I, of course, took that because guaranteed to me means guaranteed. So when I first got to Commerce, I was very positive. I was like, okay, you know what? This is a year. The Lord knows what He's doing, and it's not A&M, but I'm going to make the best of it. And my first semester there was very hard. I'm grateful that I was only an hour from my family because I'm going to be honest, I went home every weekend. The transition's hard. I didn't feel like there were a lot of people that I connected with there. And it was just a lot of change. And so I think it all kind of hit me in January. I actually, after my first semester, I moved home and I just commuted my second semester. So I think in January, it just all kind of hit me, a lot of external circumstances. And I had tried so hard to just be really positive and like, okay, Abby, you got to fight through this, because I have I have a tendency to be negative, and I knew that in that circumstance I couldn't be negative, because otherwise it would just not be good. And so I was like, you know what, Abby, you can do this, you got it. And I think it just all kind of hit me, and I didn't let myself kind of grieve what I left behind. Obviously, that was a season of my life, and I'm not saying that I need to be stuck in what was in Maryland, but I didn't really allow myself to be sad long enough, and so I think that kind of came back to bite me in January, when everything kind of just hit, and I was just like, I didn't even know how to handle it. So anyway, that is kind of a little bit into what caused it, I think. And so March, I am full blown into school. I'm halfway through the semester, hopefully ending up at A&M. I have midterms, and due to some school situations and personal situations, I was failing in March in school, and I was very, very scared. I was so scared. I was like, I cannot stay here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to go. Like, what if I don't pass? And by the grace of God, I finished. It was a very hard couple months, but the Lord brought me through, and I was able to come out of that, and I finished with what I needed to get here. So over the summer, kind of when you release outward, tensions of school and all that, the summer was really good. I got a job at Cabby, as I shared with a lot of you, and I absolutely love it. I still work there. I'm a seasonal employee. So that was probably one of the best decisions that I could have made. I decided to do that in April. My life literally consisted of eating, sleeping, and doing school. And I decided that for my mental and emotional health, I needed something else. And so I decided to work at Cabby, and it was the best decision I could have made. It was perfect for me. I love the people that I work with, and I love the ladies there. Their friendships are so sweet and so special, and they were such an encouragement to me when I was kind of coming out of everything. And so the summer was really, really good. And I finally felt like I was getting settled in a church. I absolutely love my church back home in McKinney, Covenant Church. I finally felt like I was settling. We were getting to the year mark of being in Texas, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was like, oh no, like I can't go to Texas A&M. Like, I just finally feel like this is it. Like, I feel really good here. I feel so settled, and like I shared before, I don't do well with change, and I was just like, oh no, I have to change again. I have to transition. I have to do this again. And so I think when I shared with you all in a post, I was really wrestling with that, and I really was like, I don't know if I want to go. Do I want to do this? And my family and friends continue to urge me, this is what you've wanted. This is what you've wanted since high school. You have to move forward in confidence and know that the Lord has you where you are, and what a blessing it is to be able to call now McKinney home, which I do. And before, when I was at Commerce, it was only home because my family was there. And of course, it's still home because my family is there now, but I have outside things that make it feel like home. And so I was very nervous to come here, very nervous, and it rolled around, and here I am, and excuse me, the Lord really has provided incredible friends that have just been able to walk beside me and encourage me throughout everything. And so I'm really grateful for that, because I felt like I didn't have people that I could connect with in Commerce, and the Lord has provided that immensely here. And so I've had good days, but some days have also been really rough. And so I decided that I was going to kind of seek some external help. So I'm seeing a counselor now and a doctor, and I I knew I needed that. I was getting really, really not in a good place on certain days. And people ask me how school is, and it is good. It really is. I'm not lying when I say that. Um, but it's just been a lot of change and a lot of transition, and so, being here without my family has been very hard, because they were a lot of my backbone when I was going through stuff last semester. And so, so I decided that I wanted to get some external help. Not that my family or friends weren't sufficient enough, but I knew that I needed to see someone else before it got so bad that it was going to take forever to come back out of that hole. And so I don't know where you are, if you're experiencing anxiety or depression, and please know that it's not normal to get help. It's really okay. And last semester I was like, I'm not getting help. Like, this is a season, I'm gonna get over this. Like, I don't need help. Like, I don't need anything. And then I got to this semester and I was like, you know what? I do. I think external help would be really good for me. And so that's the point that I'm at right now, and that's where I am. And I've also been using some personal tools to help me battle it. Scripture and my mindset. My mindset has a lot to do with it. And I'm not saying that when you don't have joy, that's a choice, and it is a choice, and it's also very hard for people that have anxiety and depression to just choose to be joyful. I completely get that 100%. But you have got to remember to hold on to what is good in your life, because if you don't, you will spiral so far down, it will be so hard to get back up. And so I just want to encourage those of you experiencing maybe some of what I have, whether it's been for 10 years or however long, or maybe a couple months. Bring it to the light, share with people, and it's okay to get help, and it's okay to be sad and be struggling at times. It's okay to have that. Don't guilt yourself or feel shame for what you're going through, because the Lord has you where He has you, and He's going to pull you through. And so I believe that this is a season of my life. I don't believe that this will last forever. And I believe that He'll heal me of what I'm experiencing and going through. I have no doubt about that. But, going through everything has really drawn me closer to the Lord in real and true ways, more intangible ways, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Unlike the past, it's not that I haven't grown, but I've grown in my relationship with Him so much more. And so, as discouraging as it is at times, and I'm like, seriously, God, like, I'm so over this. Like, why am I going through this? And I just have to remember that He is good and He is sovereign, and He's gonna pull me through. And it doesn't matter what I think, or He has me. And so I just urge you to seek help, and maybe write down the things that are good in your life, and don't help yourself stay accountable by holding on to the positive things. If you're a follower of Christ, writing scripture down and repeating those to yourself when you feel yourself starting to go down the anxiety path. And so I want to encourage you that you're not alone, that there are so many people in this world that have anxiety, and some are worse than others, but you have got to know what's best for you. And even if your pride is a little bit, you're like, oh man, that's so embarrassing. And trust me, I've experienced all that. I'm like, that's awesome. Everyone now, but you got to let it go, because to experience full health and healing, you have to be able to just say, okay, I'm gonna get the help that I need. And sometimes that means sharing what's really going on, and that's the best thing for you. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't share this story with you for you to feel bad for me, or for you to for attention, but just to reach out to people and let them know that they're not alone and that the Lord is good and He's gonna get you through. And I hope that through this video He receives all of the glory, because He's the reason that I have good days, and He's with me even when I have not so good ones. And so I just want to encourage you that there is hope and there is joy in tomorrow. And the Lord says, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring troubles of its own. And so wherever you are today, just know that the Lord's got you and you're not alone. So thank you all for listening. That's a little bit of a glimpse into what's going on in my world, and I am hopeful of the future. And I also wanted to share a side note. The reason that I started this blog back in May was because I was struggling, and I wanted an outlet of something to find joy in everything that I do. And so I started this blog as a way to pull out the best in my life and to reflect on that and talk about it. And so something that, other people read was a way for me to reflect on the good things in my life and what I love and what I'm excited about and what gets me going. And so, maybe that's a blog for you, or maybe that's something else, but I just encourage you to find something where you can reflect on the joy and the good things in your life, because even when it feels like there aren't, there is. And so, anyway, I think that's everything that I wanted to share, but I appreciate everyone listening and the constant encouragement and support that I felt from family and friends, and I'm forever grateful. And I know that the Lord is going to pull me through, and I know that there is joy and hope in tomorrow. And so I hope that you believe the same thing. So anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Talk to you later.